Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So what's that up to today? Well, being cheap. I'm good at being cheap. Well, I'm not good at it, but I'm cheap. So what I'm going to try to do is make seats. Sounds simple enough, right? Okay, Project Heap. You guys are familiar with Project Heap? Well, the seats. I had a seat right here, which I believe may be like one of those video game kind of seats. It's very thin and it fits in there really good. I picked it up on the side of the road. It very well maybe could have been out of a vehicle. I don't know. I mean, it does have like a little thing here to recline it and stuff. But whatever, it's cool looking, but it doesn't look, you know, like the Heap. And we need something that looks like the Heap. So my cousin actually had a set of seats. Here's one, upside down of course. This, never mind the kerosene thing. I've had this, it doesn't work. Go figure. Anyway. This seat isn't bad. It's actually in pretty good shape. I'd flip it over, but it's irrelevant because I spent all day last weekend, I think it was one of the days last weekend, trying to figure out how to make this seat work. You can see I've made different brackets. I used my bandsaw thing to cut them. Worked great, by the way. I made original brackets. So here's the original bracket. Well, it came with some brackets. They were rusted and they were cut actually too. But I put them back to stock, thinking stock is good. Well, I don't know what these Jeep seats came out of, but I know they came out of a Jeep. But I'm thinking something like maybe a CJ7 or a YJ or something. I don't know. But definitely not a CJ5. CJ5s have a notorious problem. They were not designed for modern day Americans, meaning, you know, fat people. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I'm one of those people, so I can say it. But you just can't fit. So, you know, I had the seat in there after cutting it 3 times and putting it in. And I even took the steering wheel off, as you can see. Took it off, the original one, and found this one in my hoard. That's fancy. I like the steering wheel. It's a little small, but I don't have a mounting kit for it, but it definitely looks the part. You know, it looks Project Heap. Even with this steering wheel kind of mocked in there, and I put like a couple spacers and put a nut on it to kind of hold it. With that seat right there, in there, even lowered, very uncomfortable, felt weird. So I have this seat. Now, this seat I picked up a few months ago in a collection that you guys have not seen yet. At least I don't think I've showed it to you. Nah, I don't think I have. But, spoiler alert, this is a dune buggy seat. That's your spoiler. Only one. I wish he had 2, but he didn't. But I give him 20 bucks for it, I think, along with a whole bunch of other dune buggy stuff. Spoiler alert. So we need to have another seat. I like this seat. It's actually even blue, which the interior is blue. Now, much like that seat, which is all newfangled, you know, race car coolness. Yeah, this screams 1970s Jeep. You know, this is like, you know, I got to figure out a mount. But yeah, so I like it. I like the seat. Again, I only have one. I need another one. And actually, I need another 2 dune buggy, spoiler alert. So Anyway, yeah. So I got a plan. How you guys want to do some fiberglassing? Yeah? Never done fiberglass before? Don't get scared. You guys, if you check back some of my old videos, if you guys check back some of my old videos, you'll see that I did some fiberglassing. I did the mud bug, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, there's video on there of the mud bug. And boy, that light's right in the background. Well, that's even worse. I don't know. We can't make it right. I can't see nothing out of my glasses anyway. So anyway, yeah, so the mud bug. The mud bug project was a fiberglass bodied three-wheelery trike thing. Just search on my channel, look up mud bug. It was back a while ago. I totally produced the body. And I believe somewhere, so I think it's in here, but you know, my garage is a little bit of a mess. I believe I still have the mold, but I had to create the buck, and then I had to create the mold, and then I had to create the part. The buck was made out of a chair. Actually, might have been made out of one of those chairs. Right there. I think. No. Maybe it was a blue one. I got a blue one outdoors. But anyway, that's what I used. And some plywood. And that's how I made the buck. So, I've got a fiberglass seat. Right here. Let's just make a mold, because these things are actually kind of expensive. You can't even buy the fiberglass ones as far as I can tell. Empy and J-Bugs and guys like that, they want like $100 for these things, plus another $60 for the cover. That's silliness. You know, $100 for the seat. I got $500 in the Jeep. That's, the math don't work out. So anyway, I'm going to set up and we're going to make a mold, hopefully today. I don't think we'll pull the part because we got to let the mold dry, but we got to see what kind of supplies I've got. I know I've got plenty of fiberglass because when I built the mud bug, I bought a boat ton. It's over here somewhere. I should have labeled the box. But anyway, one of these boxes, Volkswagen parts, transformers. Yeah, I know. I did have some kind of order going once upon a time. But anyway, I don't know. But there's fiberglass. I think it might be in this box. Is this heavy? Oh, I don't even know what's in this box. Aha! Look at that. Oh, don't drop it on my head. Whew. Dust is good. Look at that. There's a whole ton of fiberglass. Ooh, mouse turds too. Wonder if there's any mice in it. They probably like that fiberglass. But anyway, we'll mix that right into the mold. It's an extra binder mouse turd. Works really good. So let me get you guys set up and we'll go from there. Well, we've got some stuff. Had to make a run up to the hardware store. Needed some paste wax. This is turtle wax, soft paste wax. Not exactly what I wanted. I wanted more of a, you know, harder wax, but that's what they had. We'll see if it works. I also have my secret weapon, hairspray. Yep, I don't know if it's any good. It's all the way back from when I did the mud bug, so it's been a while. I have some sanders because there's some cuts and stuff in the gel coat on this chair, so we're going to have to probably just sand that up quick, make sure it's relatively smooth. They look real smooth, so I like that, but we'll see. And of course we have I think it's almost a full quart of resin and a whole bunch of bottles of MEKP. This is the hardener, methylethyl ketone peroxide. I remember that from college, believe it or not. I have a cheapo, you know, brush and a knife. Cut the seat cover off. in one piece. We might even fire up the sewing machine and make one of these too. What do you think about that plan? Totally constructed. I don't know. We'll see. If I can save the money on this and we can get it off, then I'll be pretty stoked. So down here there's a knot. Oh, look at that. It might even untie. I was going to cut it, but I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be able to get this off. Look at that. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. So now we're going to pull it around. Try to fight it off here. Okay. That's good. Ooh, lots of mousy nests. Oh yeah. They burrowed right in there. They had their own little house chair. Yeah. I've heard of a house chair, but this is taking it to the different level. So again, just easing it off. It's kind of warmed up. Ooh. Mouse turds. That's okay. Mouses have got a turd too. We'll fix that later. You can see somebody actually made this. You can see the marker line they put on it. So let's get this right up out of there. Perfect. Throw that over here. Aha. Whew. I'm not sure what that was. I think it was a bolt. So there we go. We got ourselves a nice little bucket seat. They got carriage bolts down here in the bottom. So there's 4 of those, which will we can drill in later. No big whoop. I'm kind of checking the thickness where the holes are. Up here in the back, it's pretty thick. I bet it's 3/16 maybe. It's not a quarter. And probably about 3/16 in the bottom. So it's going to take quite a bit of layers to make this. But I do love that it's got gel coat on it, because gel coat will release much better. Let me find a dirty rag. You should probably use a clean rag, but you know, it's only going to get dirty because you're wiping dirty stuff. So why waste the clean rag? But the dirt might have actually worked as a release agent. So what we're doing right now is we're not making the actual seat. We're making the mold. So you could create the buck. This is the buck. So the buck is whatever part you want to make. This shape is going to be the outside. So this shape right here, this level, this surface, when everything is said and done, will be this surface. Okay? Because this will be on this side. So I know that don't make sense, but it'll make sense eventually. I want to get this sticker off because this will probably cause bindage issues. Anything that's where that stuff is going to stick, and I'm trying not to scratch the surface too much. I want to get most of this sticker off so we can sand it quick, knock off anything that's, and we should probably throw a coat of paint on it too. That helps. Just fill in any of those, anything that the fiberglass can dig into is going to cause you issues. So you want to try to get it as smooth as you can. So that's about what I can scrape off. So I got a couple different sanders here. Not sure which one. This one here is kind of a wore out, and this one here is much more brand newy. So let's find some electricity here. I guess we'll go with this cord. This will reach almost to the table perfectly. think I stepped on my plug once or twice. So we're gonna, it's even plugged in, turned on. Oh. So let's see what happens. Around. Maybe you guys can see what we're doing. See that sticker is about gone. Some rust over here. Let's move that out. If there's any big scratches, I'll hit them with this. Try to smooth them out. And then we'll switch to something a little bit finer. That's a pretty good start at just knocking off the high spots. Any big crunchies, anything that is going to hang in that fiberglass, because we need this to pop. And once we mix our fiberglass, I got it warmed up out here. It's a nice day today. It's actually like 40 some degrees outside. So I warmed it up in here. It's about 50. You should probably only do this when it's like 70. So the fiberglass is going to take forever to dry. That's why this will probably become a two-part video. Okay, just ran over to the sandpaper supply to see what I had floating around. I'm not sure what that other one was. So this is 180. So maybe I'm figuring this pad was thicker than that. Yeah, it's pretty rough. Actually, it might say 120. So you know what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go to this 220 that I got here and try this. I'm staying out of that spot down in here. This is where she's going to be, but it's not that much. You got to have a negative release, and that's not bad. I'm trying to stay out. I just wanted to get some of these scratches. A deep one right here. This is where if it was broke, if it needed to be patched up, you could patch your part. But this one isn't cracked or nothing. It's a nice seat. Okay. So, back to our dirty rag again. Could fire up the air and blow it off. Ah. Got my own built-in air compressor. That works. Kind of just feeling it over here. Feels pretty smooth. Could go down even smoother. Would probably be a smart idea. I am going to get some tape and put over these holes, because we don't want that stuff going down in there. Because if that goes down in there, We ain't getting it out. So just some painter's tape. Sticking it over the holes. Now this is going to show up in the bottom of your seat. Okay? So when you make your mold, because what we're doing is making a mold. We're not making the seat. I know this is confusing. We're just making the mold. We have the seat. The seat is this size. This is the size I want it to be. If we used the mold, it'd make it a little bit bigger. Not necessarily a bad thing, just not the right way to do it. If you want to reproduce a part, you got to use the part as the buck, then make the mold. Then once you have the mold, you can make these things and go into business. You could be a multi-millionaire. No, not really, but you could make seats. And with all the cars and junk that I pick up, you know, and a seat would be a good thing. Equipment, you could use this seat for that. You could use it for anything. Perfect. Okay, so we'll give it a good dust off again. Make sure that we got that knocked off. Get all the dirt off it that I can. Next step. Next step is the wax. Very important part, because and this wax is not the wax I wanted, so it may not work and we may run into trouble. Look how loose and goosey it is. Kind of not really what I wanted. I can't even get the, how the heck do you get this plastic thing out here? I got that part. I had it apart once, believe it or not. Okay, there we go. They got this little applicator thing. I bet we'll use most of this. So, again, all I'm doing, really load it into anywhere that there's going to be cracks, or not cracks, but your crevices and your... This might work better than I thought. I don't know. I kind of like the way it goes on. If it was a little warmer, it'd probably dry faster. But that may not be a good thing either. So, I don't know. Try to get it down here into these stiffeners. And like I said, I'm not too worried about this tape on the bottom, because the tape is actually just going to be on the bottom of the seat where nobody will ever see it. So I'm loading it right into these grooves. Right in here will be the hard spot. That'll be the tricky point to get it out. And it will be when we do the actual mold too, or the actual seat. That'll be the hardest part to get out. Okay. And I'm bringing it down over the edges. There's another trick too that I was going to share with you guys too. Tin foil. If you've got a part that's really got some steep, tight bends in it, I'm making sure I'm getting it over the edge, because that fiberglass material is messy. It's going to lay over, and we'll trim it once we get it the way we want it. And actually we'll cut it a little bit wider so it will be a little bit bigger. What do you guys think about the heat gun? That might dry it quicker, right? Yeah, let's get the heat gun on it. Let's see what that does. Hey! Come back here. Yeah, feels like a heat gun. hot. Yeah, this isn't the wax I like a good paste wax. This is paste wax, but it's furniture wax is good. This is soft paste wax. Durable protection. Depth carnauba. Carnauba is what I like. So I don't know. See, is this doing anything? Oh yeah, you know, it might be. Yeah, that's doing something. Yeah, that's drying. That's good. It's a little thick over here, but definitely drying over here. It's better with your hand. You can actually feel it start to drag a little bit. You know that it's drying up. So you guys get the idea what I'm doing here, right? I don't need to watch me rub this thing down and caress it. Yeah, it's kind of weird. So I'll bring you guys back when we get her coated up. I have applied 3 coats because I'm lazy. It'll probably bite me in the butt, but you can see that it's laid on there pretty thick. You want to get her pretty slimy. See, I got some wet spots still in there on that groove, but pretty dry. Try to make sure it's dry. Then, the secret step. They have this stuff, it's called PVA for fiberglass. It's actually a plastic that dries, so polyvinyl something probably. But when, and this stuff's kind of hard to get, but this stuff you can get right at the dollar store. This is hairspray. Pantene hairspray. I don't know if Pantene's any better than anybody else, but what's nice about it is it sprays, it's aerosol, so it gets not like the wax. So I put a layer of this over the top of that, so it's even got more layers to try to create that separation. This is maximum hold. Yeah, but we don't want it to hold. So hopefully it's not maximum hold. So we'll lay this on. I'm really making sure to get it down into these because I don't have a lot of it. This was left over from the mud bug. So this has been around a while. Oh, it stinks. It smells like the locker room back in the, you know, I graduated high school in '92, so you know I was in the locker room in '88, '89. You know, the girls' locker room was next door to the boys' locker room. Yeah, and you used to smell this stuff coming out of there. So, oh. It's a good thing I got open flame in here. We'll blow ourselves up. So I'm making sure, like I said, to really get it down into that. And I'll probably hit it with the heat gun too, because it's so cold. If it wasn't for the coldness, I think we'd be fine. This is a lot smaller than the mud bug body. Mud bug body was huge. Come out pretty cool though. I had to bondo it a little bit, but still pretty cool. Trying to get a good layer of it there. Again, I'm laying her pretty thick into the where I know it's going to hang up on me. Right down in here will be the tough spot. Might be a little bit here on the edges too, where it don't want to go. But I think it'll pop. Do the same thing when you do your mold, pull your parts. Do the exact same thing. So we're going to layer it right on here. I don't really care about runs, really. I don't think I have any, but might. And I'm getting that edge good too. Going pretty good. Layering it right on there. It's drying. Ooh, it's like you need a mask on almost. I'm almost afraid to turn this thing on. It might explode. It didn't explode yet. This is water soluble, you know, because you can wash it out in the bathtub. You know. Oh yeah, I got some runs over here. Oh well, don't care. They will show up in the back of the seat, but they're getting covered up with a thingamadookie anyway, you know. Technical term. We're almost to the fun part. This isn't the fun part. I'll bring you guys back when we get to laying some glass. This is just matte. It's not woven. It's just that, you know, kind of sliced together material. I bought this, some more mouse turds, a long time ago, and it was cheaper to buy it by a big bunch, so I did. So it's a little gangly to work with, but I think we'll be all right. Pair of scissors here, kind of cut it down into something we can work with. Now this is the mold, so it doesn't really matter how, you know, it's not like it's got to be super thick, because all it's got to do is do its job long enough to make the part. So I'm thinking I've got one piece that was already kind of the right size. Okay. Sometimes around tight curves you do have to cut this stuff. So again, this is the mold. So, and sometimes it works better to even cut strips and lay them in. All depends. This stuff will bend though once it gets in there. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to cut it. Thinking this way. Yeah, thinking right there will do the trick. It's messy. You're going to have fiberglass strands all over you. That's the fun part, I guess. Okay. So now we've got some pieces. Set one over here. This piece is bigger. I'm going to put the bigger piece down first. That almost covers. This one's got a chunk cut out of it. I must have used it for something. Yeah, it's a little bit short that way, but that's okay. We'll fix her up. And actually, cut this piece off. Jam it over here. All I'm doing is just filling in the spots. Kind of making sure I got a piece. See, that piece will go right in there. It'll be fine. And this will all flatten out. And if it doesn't, you just cut it. Give it a little relief, like up here. We may need to put a relief in up here. Make it a little easier to bend around the corner. Same thing over here. Give it a little relief. Now it wraps right around, nice. And this will all smush in anyway. So let's mix up some material. So all the turds went in the bucket, which is perfectly good. and just regular fiberglass resin, if it's any good. I might need a pair of pliers. Let's see if we can get the lid off this crap. Oh, perfect. See if it's still liquid. Looks to be. It smells like fiberglass. I'm going to probably put in about half of it. It'll thicken pretty good. Okay. Hardener. How much hardener do you add? Well, for the temperature it is out here, one of these little juice containers is for like a whole quart. This juice container is about half full. That thing was almost full. With the temperature, it'll probably be a little bit tricky, so I'm going to dump this all in. Oop, missed some. Squirt it out the side. And then I got another one here with a little bit more in it. We'll squeeze a little bit of that in there too. So that's probably about 3/4 of the hardener, because it's just so cold out. My clear plastic stir stick, all I'm doing is just stirring it up, getting that activator worked into the polyester resin. That's what this stuff is, by the way. It's just polyester. It's Bondo without the powder. The powder used to be in Bondo talc. I'm not sure if they're using something synthetic now or if they still use talc, but that's why Bondo pops. When you put Bondo on your car and you get moisture in it, it draws moisture. Just like it draws moisture off the baby's butt. Talc likes moisture and absorbs it. So talc isn't really the best solution. That's why if you're putting Bondo on a part that you know is going to be in contact with water, or have, you know, inside of a fender where the water is going to blow up against it, you're going to make sure that you get fiberglass underneath it, polyester resin without talc and some other binding agent that does not absorb fiberglass. So short strand fiberglass works pretty good for that, or long strand, whatever you got. So anyway, that's probably mixed thoroughly enough, I'd say. So good to the last drop. Now, next thing you should do, let me get it. Rarely do I ever suggest putting on gloves, but you might want to do it for this one, because this stuff gets everywhere. And make sure you're wearing your finest clothes, because it will be everywhere. I hate gloves. I really do. And I get them tight because I don't like them. And then if they're loose, then they're everywhere. So, yeah, that'll do. Okay, let's do it. Step one. I like to wet out the surface. So we're going to put on this stuff. I'm going to start at the top, and I'm not brushing it in. I'm just laying it on because I want it to grab the fiberglass when I set it on there, because it's a pain in the butt when it starts. If you try to wet it out, you can do it, and I will once it's on here, but the dab is actually a good way to do it too, because you're not wiping off your wax or whatever you got in there as a layer. it's kind of time sensitive. It's so cold, I'm not overly worried about it. This may take a couple of days to even dry out. I know when I did the mud bug, it took some time because I did it in the winter. Laying around there thick. It's not art, guys. All we're doing is getting a good layer for that stuff to stick to. Okay. I think that shall do for now. And you can move it around. It's got a little bit of flexibility. So I'm thinking, let's go on there this way. Got a little bit of a spacer right there. You might be able to grab it before it gets down all the way. Kind of smooth it out a little bit. Yeah, that's better. This is what they call wetting it out. Trying to work the air out because you're going to get air in between it. Notice the stimpling effect. That just pushes the air out. A little dry over there. Probably missed the spot when I was putting it on. So I'm just holding it there, letting it soak through the fiberglass. And then I can go back to stimpling it down. Yeah, fiberglass is cool. I mean, it takes on any shape, basically, you know, within reason. So, a little bit of lacquer thinner takes that stickiness off. As long as you catch it early. Don't let it go too long. But the way this stuff's drying, it's going to take a while. So let me go get a pair of gloves. Okay. So, new pair of gloves. Let's put another layer on it. See how that'll lift up? You hit it with the brush, and it lays right down. So anywhere that you're seeing some sticking up, you can knock it right back in, but it doesn't really matter because we're laying another layer on it anyway. So material-wise, I'm about empty. So. So I'm going to cut away, but when I come back, this will be magically, can't snap my fingers, they're stuck together. Try. Okay guys, well, believe it or not, it is the same day. I set this over on the wood stove, and it kicked pretty fast. I don't think it's 100% cured, but that might aid us in getting it off, because that is the hardest part, is popping this thing loose. So what I use, shouldn't use a screwdriver or something like that, shouldn't. Sometimes you got to, but I cut little pieces of wood, little wedges, and try to wedge them underneath, and just work it and pop on it and pry on and try to get up under it, and hopefully it comes off. So let's try, see if we can get under an edge here. There was an edge here that felt kind of loose. So I'm just kind of going all the way around it. That one kind of jammed in there. Kind of work it from different sides. If you can, get underneath it. Oh, that was a good one. Sometimes, oh, my wedge broke. Plywood. But that was a good pop though. You can kind of feel it give a little bit. And you just got to work that one under there. So you can hear it giving a little. So that one's starting to make some noise. I'm going to work it over here a little bit. See what else I got left. A little wedge. Not a big one. Oh. Pieces breaking off. Plywood wedges. Not the best. This one's a little stiffer, I think. This was the one I wanted to use up in the bottom of it. Got my stir stick here too. That's plastic. That might work in there. I think it's going to come off. When it goes, it'll go. Because I'm looking down through here and I can see light. So I think she'll go. It's just got to, it's going to be a little tough down around this part. There we go. That was a good one. You get kind of excited when you get one that you know is kind of a, you could feel things starting to give. Oh, look at that! Did you see it? I don't know if you guys saw it, but I think she gave. Get enough pressure on it. Look at that! Awesome! Awesome, awesome, awesome! Yes, sir! The wood pieces out. Oh, it's nice and smooth. Check it out. That is awesome. So this, now, it's got the grooves in the side. This is your mold. This is what you make your part in. You make your part down inside this. You grease this up real good, wax it, hairspray it, whatever you got to do to make life work for you. And then this is probably Usually you make your mold a little bit thicker, but like I said, this was all the material I had. This will work fine for a mold. You could make it a little thicker, but you can always add to it, you know? So that's the cool part. And yeah, I'm super stoked it came off so nice. I did price these out. It's even hard to buy fiberglass ones anymore. They've all went to the plastic ones, which are probably, you know, fiberglass cracks. You know, it just, that's the way it is. It's not super flexible. But, I mean, we used fiberglass seats for, you know, years and never had an issue. So, yeah. These would go for probably, I mean, $100 a pop. So if we can build a seat, let's say, even in the material, I did a little Amazon shop in there looking around to see what was in there, and it looks like about $50 for a gallon of resin and some material and a hardener. Now, is it enough material to do a whole seat? I don't know. I mean, probably the gallon is. I bet you could do 2 seats with a gallon of resin. The fiberglass mat, yeah, you probably, because you want it thicker than this. This is really thin. It's not real flexible, but it's only, I bet it's a 1/16 of an inch thick. And like I said, that was probably 3/16. This is only 2 layers of fiberglass. So I'm thinking the actual part would probably be maybe 4 layers, 5 layers. 5 layers would probably be quite substantial of fiberglass. I think would do a very nice rigid seat. Could you get away with 4? Yeah, probably, because this is a 1/16. The seat was about an 1/8 to maybe 3/16. So you could probably get away with 4. 5 would probably be better, but yeah. So that is how you make a mold. Hopefully the next video will be me, because I got to buy more material because I'm out. Like I said, I used pretty much a quart for 2 layers, so I'll probably use 2 quarts for 4 layers, and then, you know, give or take, you know. So I mean, and that quart was a little bit shy, so yeah, you know what I mean. I'm thinking a half a gallon should make a seat. If I can buy that stuff for about $40 a gallon, then I'll have $20 in the resin, and the fiberglass mat I don't think was super expensive. I'm thinking if I got $20 in the resin, or in the resin and in the mat, that's $40, and the hardener, and some time of doing it. But you know, at least you learn something, right? You learn how to pull apart, and you can make anything you want. You know, I mean, it's the coolest stuff to work with. So, ouch! It does poke you though. It's glass. It's pokey. So, anyway, guys, there you go. That's how you pull a fiberglass mold. Next video, we're going to use this mold to lay it up. We'll grease it up good. We'll lay it up, and we'll pull a seat out of it, hopefully. And we'll do that at least a couple more times, because I got 1, I need 3 more seats. So anyway, guys, thanks again for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.